There had been struggles for decades, perhaps even for centuries, to emphasize the dignity of black people in particular and minorities in general. And they had generally hit stone walls. But there came a time when a disciple of Gandhi, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, who believed in peace and nonviolence, came on the scene. He was a young pastor in Alabama, and he ended up becoming the leader of what we now call the civil rights movement. It differed from most of the other revolutionary movements in that this one, like Gandhi, depended on nonviolence and the principles of peace. And so he introduced that into our nation. Martin Luther King was 6 months younger than I am, so he would have been 82 years old right now, and I'm 82 years old right now. He was a person who was not just interested in rights for black people. He was interested in rights for everybody. In our experience, he was a friend to Audrey and me. He would come to our home, and she would even cook for him. But one of the things that we learned from him was that it was possible to make social change without violence. So when you hear of the desegregation of the Houston Independent School District or of the city of Houston, this is one of the few places where desegregation occurred without police and dogs and fighting in the streets. It was a very quiet desegregation here because we tried to follow, as he taught us, those principles which he had learned from Mahatma Gandhi. My message is pretty well the purpose of this conference. It is that people shall experience the contact with each other, where one shall inspire another to focus on peace and nonviolence. And I think that the disciplines that lead to an attitude of peace and nonviolence are very important. Therefore, I think that this conference is very important. If you can plant seeds among this group, which for all of its number is still a small group, 100,000 people, it is really not a large group, but if you can plant seeds in that group and then send them back to radiate those principles just to the areas where they live, ultimately you can change the world.